We are surrounded on all sides, above and below, within and without, by love, protection, divinity, and magic. The circle is cast, and so it is. Hello. My name is Chelb. My pronouns are they, them. And this is Phasecraft Collective, your weekly check-in with the tarot to get the vibes, the guidance, all of the energetic direction that you need to navigate the days and the week ahead. We're starting with a bang with this total solar eclipse and new moon in Aries, and I hope that you have had a restful day, that you were able to see the wonderful, beautiful movement of the moon and the sun if you so chose. I hope your eyes are protected and safe, and I hope you're ready to take a moment for yourself to check in and see what the week holds. Let's begin by taking a few moments to breathe and ground and center and set the circle, cast the container, letting ourselves fully come into this present moment. I invite you to close your eyes if it feels safe and good to do so. Otherwise, just let your gaze kind of soften and settle somewhere, letting your eyes relax. And take a few deep breaths here, letting yourself come into this moment, into this space. Knowing that you can rest here. And at least for the next 20-ish minutes, you are here to serve yourself. And start to turn your attention to your exhales, to the warmth of each breath out, sending that warmth into the space directly in front of you. Imagine you can see the air coming out of your mouth and starting to create a wall of warm golden light that gets wider and taller with each exhale until it starts to curve towards you and reaches all the way behind you, creating a sphere of this warm golden light to hold you and protect you. See this force field that you have created with the power of your own breath surrounding you, and know that you are safe. In this space, I'm going to call to the spirits and guardians of the elements and to any ancestors, guides, entities that want to be here for this reading. And as I name them, I invite you to imagine those elemental forces further strengthening, reinforcing this sphere that you've created. You might erect a circle of stones, growing tall and powerful out of the ground. You might see a circle of roses, their thorns protective, their petals beautiful. You might carve a moat of tumultuous waves around you, or you might simply imagine that this tangible air is actively blowing away all negative energy, all worry, all entities that would cause you harm. I call to the spirits and guardians of the north, of earth, of the deepest roots and the tallest trees, of the stardust that gave shape to this planet and to our bones. Hail and welcome. I call to the spirits and guardians of the east, of air, of wind and breath, communication and change, thought and intention, hail and welcome. I call to the spirits and guardians of the south, of fire, of the life-giving sun, and the powers of creation and destruction, cleansing and renewal, hail and welcome. And I call to the spirits and guardians of the west, of water, of the oceans and our blood, the rivers and our sweat, the rain and our tears, hail and welcome. I now call to any and all well, willing, and benevolent spirits, ancestors, guides that are available and ready to assist in our healing journey. And I compassionately disinvite those entities that are not well and not willing, sending you to a place where you might be at peace during this time. We are surrounded on all sides, above and below, within and without, by love, protection, divinity, and magic. The circle is cast, and so it is. Take a couple of breaths here. Feel yourself fully settled into your energy. And whenever you are ready, you can open your eyes. Beautiful. All right, friends. Let's see what is going on with the rest of our week. I'm using a new deck today called the Lillifer Tarot, excuse me. And I'm very excited to see. Whoa, okay, whoa. It's talkative, which we love. Wow. Already we've got a big group of cards that fell out. If this is your first time listening in, I like to shuffle while we kind of chat and vibe. I don't use spreads usually. I just see what comes out of the deck. And this is some really good energy so far. All right. Wow. It's always interesting when I use a new deck and I'm shuffling it for the first time, and sometimes that when you do that, then you'll get groupings of cards that fall out that are like, you know, the 1 through 4 of swords all came out together because they were still next to each other in the deck. But we had quite a mix of things. And I think we're good. I think we're in a good spot to start. And of course, if you want to learn more about how to read intuitively and relationally, and maybe not use spreads yourself, you can come to my beginner/intermediate course that's coming up. First class is April 20th. It's called TAROTSCOPE, and the information will be in the episode description. I will mention just before we get started, I only have 1 spot left at the lowest pricing tier. It's offered on 3 pricing tiers for accessibility, and if you would need a lower price point, there's only 1 spot left there, so don't wait too much longer. But okay, enough of that. I think we are good to go to start. So right away at the beginning, y'all, we have 3 knights, which is really always an interesting energy to work with when they're all together. We have the Knight of Cups, the Knight of Wands, and the Knight of Swords. Excuse me, this is the Knight of Pentacles. Wow. This deck is all watercolor paintings, and the symbolism is absolutely beautiful. But since you're not looking at them with me, let me just go ahead and talk about them instead. So these 3 knights together, the Knight of Pentacles is this very grounded presence. It is reminding us to take our time, to make sure our plans are laid to the best of our ability, and to make sure all of our ducks are in a row before we start on anything. And framed with the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Wands, this time of planning is coming to a close, if not over already. This planning might be holding us back from fully exploring the energy that is available to us. The cups and the wands are like our emotions and our passions and our drive and our intuition and our heart and all that good stuff. And this support of the Knight of Pentacles with the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Wands, who can get a little off track on their own. The Knight of Wands less so. The Knight of Wands is more likely to get burnt out quickly than off track. But if you've been itching to start a new journey, to start a new project, to follow any sort of dream or exciting opportunity, do so. And make sure that you are still grounded in reality, in logic, in planning, in what it means for your home, your heart, your health, your career, to follow these plans. The Fool also came out for us, as well as the Ace of Swords. The Page of Wands is also here, which I kind of love, for the Page and the Knight to come out together in a different suit, because the Page is that new beginning energy. The Page is that energy of student, of learning as you go, and it really encourages the aspect of going out similar to the Fool and not worrying so much about what's going to happen as you move. The Knight of Pentacles, we have our plans in place and we must be flexible and allow them to change as we go. Having a plan is good. Being grounded in why we are doing anything is good. And we have to know that things will change as we go, and we have to be willing and open to being flexible. So the Fool, the Page of Wands, all of these knights, really, again, pushing ourselves to branch out from just keeping it stable and just keeping things within reach. Trust in the skills, in the knowledge that you have honed, and know that it is a baseline for the new and exciting opportunities to come. We also have the Four of Pentacles here. We have the 10 of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands. Swords. I'm literally looking at it and it's a sword and I said wands. I just was so excited about that knight in those pages, that page. Lots of swords. We actually have like the beginning of the sword suit and the end of the sword suit all here. They all jumped out separately, which is very interesting. They didn't come out as a grouping, like how I was mentioning with a new deck. Sometimes you get a grouping of an entire suit together. These all jumped out at different times. So lots of swords energy coming in with this eclipse. But I like this combination of the 10 of Pentacles, the 4 of Pentacles, and the Ace of Swords. Because the 10 of Pentacles is like this end game. This is like legacy. This is building your future. And the 4 of Pentacles being the things that we bring close to us in order to find that stability. And the Ace of Swords is letting yourself get creative, get curious, get thoughtful and decisive about what needs to stay and what needs to go in your immediate, like literal physical home, in your mind, in your habits, in order to get to this 10 of Pentacles place where you have a lasting and effective and strong foundation for the future. A legacy that you're building for those that come after you. Tapping into those that came before you, tapping into your own familial practices and resource. Not just like physical, literal resource, not money, well, sometimes money, but practices, habits, solutions that those before you used to build a stable future to the best of their ability. And using this Ace of Swords energy to build on that, to make it your own. Yeah. I want to get a little bit more action here before I dive into the rest of the swords that are here. Okay, 4 of Cups. Page of Cups. Okay, cups and swords for us today, which is always, I'm going to say, an interesting combo again, because it is. It is. The cups and the swords are, I mean, it's water and air. They're across from each other. They're west and east. They are not necessarily opposing or opposite forces, but they also don't necessarily complement each other entirely. Okay, it's really just like, no, it's a swords kind of day. Sorry, that was probably really loud. Okay. So. Oh, and we have the Page of Pentacles too. I really like that for us. Okay. Yeah. Pages. And pages, I mean, we have the Page of Wands with this Page of Pentacles. And again, this is curiosity, this is learning, this is student. Page of Pentacles, more than anything, is this like very direct student energy and like focusing your time on learning a new skill. Okay. So the rest of what we have here, oh, and then the Page of Cups is also here. Y'all, wow. This is so fun. I love that all this sword energy. So swords, we're talking logic. We're talking truth seeking. We're talking expression. We're talking to-do lists and also intuitive connection with logic. Does that make any sense? But then we also have all these cups coming in to keep us grounded. So we have the King and Queen of Cups. We have the 1, 2, and 3 of Swords, the 4 of Cups, and the Page of Cups to lead us out here. I think earlier I said that this King and Queen were swords, but they're not. They're cups. This deck is color-coded in blue for both swords and cups, which made my eyes deceive me for a second. But I love that all of this kind of tumultuous sword energy, the 1, 2, and 3, are leading us into this place where our heads and our hearts can join. The 2 of Swords in particular usually means that we are trying to overly, use logic to make a decision instead of allowing our heart to guide us through. But this 2 of Swords with this Page of Cups and the 4 of Cups too. The 4 of Cups and the 2 of Swords, by trying to force yourself into a logical decision, into a logical situation, you are missing something that the universe is trying to give to you. There is some message, opportunity, feeling that you are not quite wanting to face because you're too focused on what is visible, what is tangible, what you can work with your mind. Let yourself open up. Page of Cups, 4 of Cups. Let yourself open up to bring in all of the different parts of yourself, because to make a choice that will best serve you, best serve this 10 of Pentacles future, you need to consider all of you. You have to consider what your future self will need, and your emotions are part of your future self. 3 of Swords, King and Queen of Cups. Oh, and the Ace of Cups. Wow, Ace of Cups was hiding under the Queen of Cups. Trust this emotional intelligence. Don't try to push it down, or you will end up causing yourself so much more harm than good. Queen of Cups, remember to touch in with your emotional center to practice that self-care so that you can also build care for others. King of Cups, know when to decide to follow your heart, which I know I just said, like, we need to bring them together, and we do. But know what the balance is. Trust that you can decipher or that you can decide how much of each thing to put into the basket, the choice, the decision. Trust that you know yourself well enough to let them, the inner self, lead. And trust in the universe, Ace of Cups, to help guide you towards that which will fulfill your heart most. Yeah. That feels very real. Let me see if there are any final messages that want to come out here. The Star. Shut up. The Star. The Star, and I'm looking at this card, and there is a star on it, obviously. There's also the moon below a star, and it has 3 eyes, and it says, I know, across the moon's forehead, because you do. You know what you have to offer, and you know what you want to be doing in the long term. And this is the process, this is the week, this is the time to really start building those foundations, to really help yourself grow. We have the 6 of Cups, touching in with your joy, letting your joy lead you, letting your inner child and your past selves in all their forms, which I've already kind of mentioned, help you reconnect to what it is that fulfills you most. Final card, the Chariot. This is really forward-moving energy, and we had all these pentacles to help you remember to stay grounded and let that power drive you. Let that knowledge of self, of what you want, pull you forward. Let yourself connect to your truest, most pure joy. Cool, y'all. I feel like we did it. Wow. I love using a new deck right away for a collective reading because it always gives me a really interesting view into the attitude of the deck, into what kind of messages I can expect it to give me. And thank you for being here while I figured out the colorization and the symbols and all the different ways that this deck speaks to suits. Really had a good time. Awesome. Well, friends, let's go ahead and close out this space and this energy and go about the rest of our days. Take a breath and let your eyes close once more. Reimagine that sphere of golden light surrounding you. And with each inhale, see it start to come closer to you, until it is wrapped around your body like a full body suit, until it sinks into your skin, giving you access to that divinity, that magic, that protection with you always. I release the spirits and guardians of the west, the south, the east, and the north, sending you back to your place in the natural order with praise and with gratitude. I release all spirits, ancestors, guides that arrived to deliver these messages and reinvite those that left to give us transformational space. I send the energy of all those listening back to them whole, complete, and intact. And I take my energy back to myself whole, complete, and intact. May we remain friends, though our energies are no longer crossed, corded, or tangled at all, starting now. Take a breath, feel your energy settle into you, all yours. Exhale and let your breath dissipate any remaining essences of your circle of stones or flowers or water or air. The circle is open, and so it is. Thank you all so much for being here. Feel free to drop a comment, shoot me an email or DM on Instagram, TikTok, If you have any questions or are curious at all about any of my upcoming offerings like Tarotcraft. And if you've gotten here this far and you want to maybe take advantage of a super special eclipse flash sale that will only be available for a few more hours, head to my Instagram page and you can find the link in my stories. Amazing. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Sleep well. And I'll see you next week.